Now we're going to examine the complex relationship between the politics and security in Nigeria. So Nigeria faces about numerous security challenges, including terrorism, insurgency, banditry, and then despite all of these threats, the government's efforts have been criticized for being ineffective and politicized. So the consequences are dire if this is, actually true, because we've seen the consequences basically: heightened insecurity, compromised national security, and even erosion on the trust in these institutions. Joining us, of course, today in the studio, we have Honorable Ibrahim Abubakar Waziri. He is a counter-terrorist security expert and a politician. Good morning, Honorable.
Good morning.
It's good to have you.
Morning, viewers.
Also virtually via Zoom, we have Dr. Abdulrahaman Abu Hamisu. He is a public affairs analyst and security expert and also a lecturer in the University of Abuja. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Good morning, Nigerians.
Always a pleasure to, see you and talk to you. But then let me get your thoughts on this politicizing of insecurity that we keep getting. We've seen, Ministry of Defense and even the federal government make a huge step saying we're going to the northeast to start bombarding these people until we're able to, send them out of extinction. What is your take on the word politicizing, insecurity? Dr. Hamisu.
Well, thank you so very much. Whatever we are doing as human beings, there is always a politics behind it. Politics is all about the choices that people decide to make. These choices could be positive, they could be negative, depending on what the interest lies. So we've been playing politics with our lives in Nigeria, from what is essential and impactful to the non-essential things that are even challenging our existence today. So wherever you are, in the churches, in the mosques, in the market, there is always politics. For instance, even in your neighborhood, for you to be a very good neighbor, you must be able to meet some expectations of your neighbors by way of saying hello to them. If the children are not feeling well, if there is a birthday celebration, maybe you bought a new car, you drop by to say, we are either happy and we're celebrating with you, or we're not happy because you're unhappy, so that once it is your own time, the person will reciprocate. So politics is everywhere, but what we're against is bad politics. So when we're talking about politicization within this context, we're talking about the choices that the policymakers are making. And these very particular choices are up there for everybody to see whether they are impactful, whether they are wrong, or whether they are good. And then when you talk about politicizing, you look at it from the negative perspective, which means that the right thing is not being done and that the wrong things are being done, but they are being justified as right things. So, for instance, you continue to hear federal government of Nigeria saying that we're on top of the situation. The more they say they're on top of the situation, the more people are being killed. The more money they allocate, the more people are being killed. So you wonder, what is the problem? If a government tells you it's on top of a situation, you feel like going to sleep. But in Nigeria's situation, you just need to stay awake. If Nigerian government tells you we're on top of a situation, you can take it to the bank, you can close your eyes and sleep, but not Nigerian government. And this has been a recurring decimal in our own politics.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abdulrahaman Hamisu, for that intake. But then let me come to our guest right here in the studio, Honorable Ibrahim Waziri. Just as a follow-up to what Dr. Hamisu has said, how would you say politics has influenced Nigeria's security landscape?
Well, actually, as he said, in everything we do, there is politics in it. And the most unfortunate thing is the way the governments are taking things without a political will to implement or to provide security for Nigerians. When we talk about political will, the first thing is the president has a political will to remove subsidy.
Right.
Before he got into the office of the president, he removed subsidy. At Eagle Square, from his own broadcast, the speech, the taking over speech. He has not even taken over from the president even. He only read his own speech, said, okay, fine. As far as I'm concerned, there is no subsidy, I will remove subsidy. And up till today, subsidy is gone. If he has the will, immediately say, okay, fine. I want to change the whole of this security architecture. I want to come up with cluster security. Because in politics, you have smaller units, you have polling units, Apart from the polling units, you have some groups that if you have a larger police, like a satellite polling unit, you have smaller groups that you group people. Group those people, give them small things, small incentive. They give you the best information, the most basic information that will help the security to grow. But unfortunately, they don't have the political will to solve the problem. All they want is, okay, pump money into the security agencies, go there, maybe they give them some kickback, they return something back to the leaders or whatever. It's unfortunate. That's the bad politics Doctor is talking about. Because when you have the political will to do things, you do it within a blink of an eye. If you have the political will, you cannot have problem in Nigeria, because there is no, in Africa, I don't know of any terrorist organization that is closer to Nigerian security. The training, the what do you call it, the infrastructure they have, the weapons, whatever, the discipline, whatever it is. When you take Nigerian police here, take him to Europe. If he perform, he'll come out one of the best. Take Nigerian soldier to anywhere, peacekeeping, they come out the best. Take Nigerian Air Force, Navy, any of our forces you take out, they come out the best. When you take our DSS out to meet their colleagues in other countries, you see they come out with the best of information, they come with the best. Look at the NIA. All of this, we have the best set of people, but unfortunately, we have bad political leaders that doesn't have the political will to solve our problems or to give us peace. Okay,
Honorable, I hear you when you say there is lack of political will there, and then, you know, if you're following on the program this morning, our callers have also said the sincerity of purpose is not there on the part of government. But then we have seen where government comes out, you know, they're holding meetings with security chiefs, and we're seeing the defense ministry, you know, the Minister of Defense himself traveled down to the northwest to say we're here and we're coming to fish out these bandits. But I'd like to know, if you're saying the political will is not there, how come all of that is happening? I know we still have the security challenge. Let
me throw us back a little bit. Look at what happened between 2014 and 2015 during Jonathan. The 6 weeks we had political extension for election. In that 6 weeks, I think Boko Haram was totally demoralized because they got over 75% of their areas captured by the government, because they have the political will, because they want to be re-elected. Unfortunately, Nigerians have decided not to re-elect them. So they did, and they came out with a very good result. Up to today, Boko Haram is almost dead. What is remaining is just like the last kick of the dying horse, because whatever it is, their structure, their about everything that they have has been destroyed by the Nigerian military. But unfortunately, they don't want to sustain the pressure on the Boko Haram, because I think among them all, Boko Haram is the strongest. These bandits are just small boys. How many are they? They are not up to 50,000. All the bandits in Nigeria, they are up to 50,000. Why would they fight Nigerian military? It's almost 1 million. Can you imagine this? People that have undergone training all over the world, and they come out the best, and you are just managing them with these small boys. It's unfortunate, actually.
All right. Let's come back to our guest virtually, Dr. Hamisu. Talking about, you know, this politicizing of insecurity. You made mention that there seems to be politics in everything, but when it comes to insecurity, what do you think is motivating, you know, politicizing of this? And explain to us, you know, on a more, what do you think is the personal gains of these people sabotaging their own economy just for their own sake?
Okay, thank you very much. Before I answer your question, give my opinion with regards to the question you've asked, I wanted to add something to what my brother, the Honorable, has said. I want to create an impression, the impression that there is lack of political will. There is nothing like lack of political will. The will it takes to sabotage a system is the will it takes to repair a system. So it is equal energy. In fact, if you are to put the system in place, you may not even need to spend extra energy to sabotage the system. The energy you require to build a system is even less compared to the energy you will spend to derail a system. So there is a political will, but it all depends on where we want to channel the political will. So in our own case, the most lucrative business you can find anywhere in the world is insecurity. And that is why even the almighty America cannot survive without any war abroad. So in Nigeria, we've opened a platform for politicians to enrich themselves, which is that security spendings or security votes are not subject to any form of scrutiny because of the nature of security. So as a result of this opaque nature of insecurity and security, even the military they are happy when there are wars to be fought, because it will justify increases in budget. So it means that if they are in their barracks, they are suffering. But if they are in the battlefield, then they will get extra allowance. But what is happening? The extra allowance that are even meant for the junior officers don't even get to them. So the people that are enjoying it are the big shots. And this is where the politicization comes in. So they invent a lot of reasons to cover their decision not to do the right things, to prolong the war, to continue to benefit from it. Because you're talking about a whole lot of activities that has to do with procurement. Without war, Nigerians will not cry for protection. And without the crying for protection, the military cannot justify its humongous budgetary requirement to meet the threat that the people are crying about. And so it is an incentive for those that are in the security sector, especially those that are in government, to justify whatever amount they want to remove from the system in the name of providing security. Now, this is where the problem gets messy. When billions and billions are being removed, when we are being told every day that everything has been provided. You remember President Muhammadu Buhari, before he left office, he was short of saying, Allah Isa, that is, God suffices between me and you people, because he said all that was required to fight insecurity in Nigeria in terms of money and logistics, he has made available. So what is the problem? The problem is, if we end it, we go back empty-handed to the barracks, and then the contractors and those that are benefiting from them will not. You see, it is not rocket science. Nigeria has restored peace in Sierra Leone. Nigeria has restored peace in all over the world. Nigeria is highly respected, as my brother rightly mentioned. You take any security personnel out of this country, he wins the best medal available. But what is happening? It's being messed up by those that are supposed to give him order, by those he rely on to give them direction, because the security setting says you cannot do anything until you are ordered to do so, and the order is not coming. And that is why the reality is not tallying with all that they are telling us. So, for instance, if you said you are on top of the situation, give us 1 month, we are going to finish Boko Haram. 1 month, they will tell you that they need extra funds, they need extra logistics, the boot on ground is not enough. And you can't give that crap to the president of Niger. If you give the president of Niger 1 week to deal with a person and you are not able, you are gone, you are fired. In fact, you're supposed to be charged for national sabotage. That is how you're supposed to be. A wanted bandit in Nigeria that has eluded us in Nigeria, that has been posting pictures to insult our sensibility, telling us that our military is ineffective. And we know that our military are effective because they are well equipped, they are well trained, they have the morale to deal with any situation. Entered in Niger, within 24 hours, he was arrested. So what is the difference? The difference is that the Nigerians are more committed to their nation, they are committed to providing security, and they want to enjoy peace. And then in our own case, we want to make money. And that is why a simple googling of this information I'm going to tell you, you will see tons and tons of researches that will come out. How corruption is fueling insecurity in Nigeria. They will tell you stories about the removal of $2.1 billion US. Do you understand what it means to remove $2.1 billion US in the name of security, and people are being killed every day and nothing happens to those people that removed the 2.1, or the Alice Bade corruption and so on and so forth that went unpunished? So in Nigeria, you cheat the system, you sabotage the system, and they allow you to go scot-free. In other places, you cannot do it. You can't. You just can't. So when he said there is lack of political will, yeah, the political will is there, but they are channeling it to stealing money, using insecurity, and then using the same political way to protect those that they use to steal the money. And that is just the simple truth. This is why it is being politicized. They will tell you, be patient, we are working on it. No, we need a sniffer dog that's supposed to be obtained from Israel. Is coming as soon as it comes. By the time the dog comes, they will tell you the double barrel they are using is faulty. They need to import it from Bahrain. And this rubbish they will continue to tell Nigerians, and Nigerians will continue to be killed.
Right in very quickly here. I like the fact that you have stated out, the processes of arms prosecution, purchase and arms deal and all of that. And also the fact that, year in, year out in our budgets, there is security vote, we're seeing billions of naira
towards security. Now, this now brings me to the point where you raised corruption coming to play in perpetuating insecurity. How do you think we can navigate, the dynamics around this corruption coming into play and the points you have raised earlier?
You see, I've done quite considerable research on this issue of insecurity. During pre-colonial era, we were not spending a dime and Nigeria was peaceful. Everywhere was peaceful, even up to colonialism, when colonialism came and there was uprising and so on and so forth. The issue of now we have Commonwealth that is being depleted in the name of security. See, let us not deceive ourselves. We know exactly what we are doing. We know what is happening. Look, MacArthur Foundation sponsored a research, and the research was supposed to establish a nexus between insecurity and corruption. Chias did an excellent research on the nexus between neoliberal corruption and insecurity, and how corruption is fueling insecurity in third world countries. Now, all of these researches are there. They can't tell me that they don't know about it. If they want it, let them contact us. We can give them. Go to MacArthur Foundation. See, the easiest way to do this: give people deadline. Give people deadline. Yes, you are chief of defense staff. What can you do to finish bandit within 2 weeks? This is what we need to do. Okay, what do you need to do it? We give you within 2 weeks. If you cannot, please leave the saddle. Leave the saddle. That is what they are doing. In Niger, I think the last time bomb exploded, the chief of defense staff was sacked by the president. In fact, before they even sacked him, he knew that he was gone. But in our own case, I don't know why you should keep a dead horse that is not performing. And you think that the horse will wake up overnight and start performing. In other countries, they give you deadline, they give you deliverables, and you are not able to meet it, you go. You are not the only person in this country. After all, we have 200 million plus. So if Abdulrahaman cannot do it and Honorable Waziri can do it, why should we keep Abdulrahaman because of political consideration? This is what killed the First Republic. And you keep people that are not adding value to you, they are tarnishing your image, and then you don't want to do anything about those. It's not done anywhere in the world. The essence of election, the essence of hiring and firing is that if you cannot do the job, then you go. I'm not sure if Daily Trust will keep you if you're not.
If anybody is not working, he's going to take, that position from that person, but we're yet to see the president implement that. So I get, that take. We don't know what happened. The president is just taking a bit, perhaps a slower pace when it comes to that judgment. But then let's come back to the studio. Honorable, talking about all of this, we've seen the problems. We know the problems. Currently, there's a back and forth of blame game between the present governor of Zamfara State and the former, who is currently the minister of the defense. Exactly. So with all of that happening, what is your take on that? And quickly, tell us the strategies to be implemented when it comes to depoliticizing insecurity in the country.
Well, the first thing first, if I am the president today, the first thing I will do immediately, Mutole leave office. I will arrest him, prosecute him, and make sure that yes, that bandits they created because of their political reasons are dealt with seriously.
So you believe he created?
Well, actually, the governor is saying it. The governor proved it that yes, they are doing it because they've been paying the bandits. Not only in Zamfara. There are states that are paying the bandits on a monthly basis.
But these allegations have, Honorable, these allegations have been, we've been hearing of it even before. But what does it speak of, of the precedent, considering with these allegations, he's still appointed this person?
You give him position of defense minister. What do you expect? You don't expect anything good to come out of it. This man is a thief. You say, okay, protect this for me. How can it be possible?
Allegedly.
It's not possible. So actually, I don't know. It's unfortunate. The president has to do something better. And Nigerians have to rise up.
So how do we depoliticize insecurity?
Well, depoliticizing is just give people powers, not to be armed, but let them feed the necessary information to the right people. The president should create a desk, since like the security architecture completely is not working. Create a desk, set up a committee, let them be informing this committee. The committee should sit down, analyze it, and then take the necessary action. They can have direct contact with the service chiefs, call them, keep them. This is the situation, and this is the action we want to take. Directly, the president can do that without him even knowing. He can just set up a committee by the side. That is the valuation of power. You don't need to be very powerful. No, you have to provide service as a president. You have to provide us service. We voted for you because we're giving you trust. Take our sovereignty, take some of our resources, manage it on our behalf. Provide us security. We can advise you. We are Nigerians. We're here. We can
All
give
right.
you the best of
You know, we
advice.
keep saying they're a group of people, they're a group of people. But do you honestly, based on your work, considering you are counterterrorism experts, making research on all of this, would you say, just like we saw the CEO of Dangote Refinery saying there is oil cabals? Do you believe there is insecurity cabals in Nigeria?
There is.
And how can we attack these people? How can we crumble this tower that they live in?
Create a cluster of security groups. Create cluster. Everywhere you can have information direct. You as the president, unless if you don't want to do it, you can have direct information on your desk. You have the office of the NSA, which is as large as Nigeria. He has the right to appoint anybody anywhere in Nigeria. Keep him there. He can give information. The money spent on security basically is supposed to go on information. If you have information, then you have power. You don't have any problem. I will be in Yola. I will have information from Aja. I will have information from Otokwe. From anywhere, I can sit down there, analyze it, and give action instantly, because we have military in all the states. We have policemen in virtually every polling unit in Nigeria. We can just give them instruction. Go to house 1, 2, 3, trace this man. Go to the village and meet him. Call this man. He knows them. They know. We know everybody in Nigeria. We all know ourselves.
Yeah.
Go back to your locality. You see them.
All
and
right.
These are the people that can provide you security, because once you have information, you can act on it.
Okay. Let me throw that question to Dr. Hamisu again. How do we depoliticize, the insecurity ravaging our society?
You see, when the government was ready to fight Boko Haram, they collaborated with the communities through the civilian joint task force. And this civilian joint task force came together with the military, because they understand the terrain, they know the people that are involved, and they became the supporting tissue and the pivotal source that drove most of these people out of Borno State. In Yobe State, it was the vigilantes that did that work. In Adamawa State, it was the hunters. In Niger State, in the 1990s, it was the hunters that were used to chase away bandits that were terrorizing Niger State. So we have template in terms of what has been done. There was a time while we had the Presidential Committee to the Northeast, coordinating intervention to the Northeast, we realized that the issue of information gathering, intelligence gathering was lacking, and there was need for intervention. There was a program that was designed to bring together the security agencies as well as the community leaders. And since that time, up to the time the committee transited to become commission, the communities were communicating directly with the appropriate quarters, giving the information that is necessary to tackle insecurity. So it's about the will to do the right things. If the government want to do the right things, go back to history. There was a strategy that was used in northern Nigeria and across Nigeria to solve the problem of insecurity. In northern Nigeria previously, if you are coming from anywhere, the first point of call is to go to the Meungwa to introduce yourself, which is the leader of the community, to say, I am from Lagos State, I'm intending to spend 2 days, and they will ask of the person's house you are going to, your character. And from that very particular moment, it becomes the responsibility of the community to collectively monitor your activities and report you to Meungwa to the extent that they can banish you from that community. So why are we not adopting this method? We will not, because it will not give time and opportunity for us to say we want more money to do our work.
All right, Dr. Hamisu, it's always a pleasure, honestly, having this discussion with you, and we hope we find better solution when it comes to insecurity, because it is about time. Thank you so much, Dr. Abdulrahaman Abu Hamisu, Public Affairs Analyst and Security Expert.
The pleasure is mine. Thank you for having me.
Of Abuja. Thank you for joining us this morning. Okay, also coming to the studio, Honorable, thank you so much. I appreciate having this discussion with you, Honorable Ibrahim Abubakar Waziri, counter-terrorist, security expert and politician. I appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.